Welcome back to PH.d TV, and today I'll be going over my favorite fragrance houses from A to Z. And with this list, not for every single letter, but for some of them, I will be giving my thoughts and opinions depending on the house of why I like it. But to say that I just bypass it after saying the name, assume that I do think it is the best house for that letter, but maybe it's just not something I'm so passionate about that maybe I have to talk about it. Okay, so starting off, I'm just gonna flat out say, for A, it has to be Armaf. Armaf to me just makes incredibly good clones of fragrances for a cheaper, affordable price, and I think they get pretty darn close for a clone, so that's why they make the A spot. And for B, we got Bulgari. Bulgari to me makes great fragrances, but it does to a degree target an older gentleman, so with that being said, I do feel that people who are not quite 30 yet will be smelling like they're older than what they are in that case. But Bulgari, wonderful brand, just targeted a little older, in my opinion. Now C, I was gonna choose Chanel, but I'm gonna have to say Creed, because Creed has become one of the most copied, sought after for their ingredient, for their recipe for success fragrances. Creed has been trying to get copied for so many years now. You even have different brands trying to copy other fragrances other than Aventus, like Green Irish Tweed, Silver Mountain Water. It doesn't matter. It is a house that has tried to be copied by so many people. Therefore, I think it deserves to be on this list for C. D is for Dior. What's to say about this one other than it is a classic? You will find quality in this every single time through Sauvage, Eau Sauvage, the Homme line. D is for Dior. Now E is for English Laundry, and I think this is perhaps the most quality fragrances you can buy for the most affordable price range in a rack store. And I don't understand the math behind it of why they're 90 bucks on Amazon but 13 bucks at a rack store, but regardless, E is for English Laundry, hands down. When it comes down to F, there wasn't that many options, so I'm gonna roll with Ferrari because I know that they make a lot of great scents for cheap, and even if they're not as cheap as 30 bucks, they still run at a very affordable price in comparison to some other car manufacturing brands. But Ferrari, I am going to say that is gonna be the best F option. Next up, G will be for Givenchy, and I think they just make quality products, hands down, especially in the Gentleman line. I used to be a humongous fan of Gentleman Only. I'm still a huge fan of that scent. I just moved on from it. But that's not to say that I do not remember the quality fragrance it was and the brand that completely just brings a whole new sense of quality in its brand. H, I'm kind of cheating here. I know the brand Boss is B, but I'm gonna roll with H for Hugo Boss, the full name. I think Hugo Boss is a strong, masculine, really just knows how to push what a man smells like in a modern day America type setting, even though I'm pretty sure it's also the most sold fragrance in Germany. So saying it's a modern day American thing might be a little ignorant, but I think in terms of the marketing here in America where I am, it does a bang up job for making that real masculine fragrance. I just think it's a masculine fragrance house. Not so much of options here, but I'm gonna go with Issey Miyake. I think they make bang up, really good fragrances, and you can find them at discounters, but they're just as much worth for full price retail as much as they are for discounted prices. So I'm gonna go with Issey Miyake for I. Now J, if you know me and you've seen my prior videos, you know this has got to go to Jimmy Choo. Now yes, Jimmy Choo may not have the best performance on some things, and even if they have good performance, they may not have the best longevity, but you can't deny that their scents, their fragrances just don't smell so good. My fiance's favorite smell for men, on me, for any man, is Jimmy Choo Man. So with that being said, I've even had other women tell me Jimmy Choo smell good, whether it be old or young, it doesn't matter, the age range. It's a universal manly scent, therefore J is gonna stand for Jimmy Choo, without a doubt. K is gonna belong to Kenzo, L is gonna be for Lacoste, which do have good scents. I'm just not worn a whole lot of Lacoste, but that's not to say that I don't get the quality that they do give for being a relatively clothing related brand and not so much of a scent specific house. They make good smells, but L is for Lacoste. M is going to be from Mont Blanc. Now Mont Blanc, to me, I do feel as if they do copy fragrances, very similar to Armaf, but instead of going for a directly copying vibe like Armaf does to a degree in my opinion, they do copy but then give their own spin on things. So while Armaf copies, I think Mont Blanc does a great job at bringing a new flair to a familiar fragrance, such as how Legend to me is basically Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, but they made it more mature for an older gentleman. Therefore, M is for Mont Blanc. N is gonna be for Nautica. Yes, I know N can be various other things, but you have to admit when they make something that is the most sold men's fragrance on Amazon, and they keep rack stores filled up and they just sell as much as they do and the popularity just keeps going, I'm gonna say N is easily gonna be for Nautica because of how universal and how user-friendly it is, and I think that is something that can't be said for every single fragrance house in the world to begin with, even with some of the ones that I have said prior in this list. So good for you, Nautica, you're in. O is gonna be Oscar de la Renta, P is gonna be Parfums de Marly, and Q, I don't think there's one for Q. R is gonna be Ralph Lauren. Yes, they might have some more generic smells and maybe very uninspired, very outdated fragrances, but you can't deny their impact or their best-selling fragrances such as the blue line or even the red, especially, you know, the name. They're in every Belk you've ever been to and they've been around for a long time, therefore, R does not only stand for Ralph Lauren, but it also stands for respect. Now, S stands for Salvatore Ferragamo, and I've recently delved into this brand, and I have to say, I love this brand. I'm gonna be honest, I wanna try so much more of their fragrances. Yeah, I've tried their F Black, Uomo Casual Life. I've tried a handful of them. I still even wanna try the Aqua Essenziale Blue. But I think they make great fragrances for a great price, and I feel like they're incredibly user-friendly for everything considering. S is for Salvatore Ferragamo. T is for Tom Ford. You can't disrespect anything Tom Ford. He makes great fragrances. And U is for, I guess Usher. I don't know any other U fragrance houses. And Usher is always in a rack store, so Usher. Now B is the one and only Versace. You just can't fight Versace. He's been around for a hot minute. People know the name. People who aren't into fragrances know the name. They even have a TV show based on the assassination of Versace, which, not to bring up that, but in terms of fragrances, people know Versace, people know the name, people know Versace. So therefore B belongs to the king of the party scent, the king of versatility, and that will be Versace. W will be Woods of Windsor, and X and Y is gonna be for YSL. And I mean, who's gonna disrespect their brilliant La Nuit de L'Homme? And lastly, Z will be for Zaroff. And that's my list. If you liked my options here, please let me know. If you had any other suggestions for other A through Z options, put it down below. And if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe down below and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.